Are you struggling with the new dream boss, Mr. King Croaker? Well, today I'm going to show you the free-to-play, the more advanced compositions, or what you're ideally trying to look for when it comes to beating this boss. Let's get into it. So first and foremost, as you can see, I have a bit of an alteration to the normal composition that I use. And for all intents and purposes, although there are maybe a few characters that are a little bit more difficult to get in this composition, at this point, if you don't have access to characters like Kruger, Coco, or Entendre, it's going to feel a little bit bad no matter what I suggest to you. Now, although Smokey here is a more difficult character to get, the only real replacement for him in terms of, I guess, wanting to replace his healing capabilities would be if you end up using someone like Neru, who, in my opinion, the revive doesn't feel too good. I can and will be ending up replacing him specifically for this first run. But in all honesty, the healing supplementary kind of utility that specifically Smokey provides to the team is kind of unmatched. There's really no other way to replace him either, because although you could definitely make use of something like a Fae or someone to that extent or someone of that nature, losing out on the faction bonus is a little bit harmful, or it kind of stinks. You do lose out on about 4% attack and 4% HP if you were to just, for instance, swap out Neru instead of Fae. However, if you are struggling with, I guess, like the initial base hits, and you aren't even able to survive one hit at all, consider using Neru. However, again, I understand that for certain fights, and especially for King Croaker specifically, he has a lot of AoEs, he has a lot of attacks. Just to kind of run through his skills again very quickly, he's got a knockback that also stuns. He has a water bomb that does AoE. There's a magic bomb or a magic bubble that basically drops onto an enemy and then, or one of your allies, and then instantly wipes them. And then of course he has the, the barrier that he has, based on his kit. But this is about as free to play of a composition that I can think of. You have your support for. Okay, you have your support, who's 4-star here, and you also have, again, Entendre, who's supposed to be the main tank. You have Coco here for the damage reduction. Kruger, of course, also here for physical damage reduction. And now something that someone mentioned earlier in one of my past videos that I didn't make, I guess, more aware of, is that if you are using Kruger, there's no real, not that there's no reason to, but the effects of Kruger and Odie don't work together very well because Odie has magic damage in his kit. So if you are going to be replacing someone like Kruger, just keep in mind that you can replace him with Odie to have additional damage, but that Odie and him don't really synergize too well with each other. Just keep that in mind. However, moving forward, again, we have Entendre, who is going to be our tank for the foreseeable future, unless if, again, you can find some reason to get rid of your Cannaaaa, but Cannaaaa does so much damage and Mr. Carlisle has so much value that in terms of, I guess, pairing someone with Cannaaaa for the faction bonus, you only really have your options as either Thorin, if you have access to Thorin, and you've pulled him through some random means, or it has to be a supportive or another DPS character within the Graveborn kind of category. And all of these, of course, would be fine if and only if you have Smokey, because not having a support in most of the Dream Realm fights is really difficult to try and pull off. You would have to use something like the Awakening spell, which is really not that ideal in terms of how much damage you're going to be outputting. But, of course, if you are struggling, that's what we might have to do here. For this first run, I'm going to see just how well Awakening spell does. I haven't even done it for the day yet. These are kind of brainstormed free-to-play compositions that I've been trying to come up with for you guys, specifically because I get that, having someone shove in your face that you need all these 5 stars like Thorn, etc. can be a little bit annoying. That being said, though, after about, I would say about at least a month worth of playing the game, most people will likely have at least one copy of each character, which should make the Dream Realm bosses a little bit easier. But let's just take a look at what the composition does with this specific loadout. So we're going to click our battle, and of course we have Neru, who is just never going to be comparable, but we have a little bit of healing coming out with our Awakening spell, which is nice, but you can already tell how kind of suspect it feels right now. Now, of course, Neru is giving a little bit of healing. Coco, I did actually want to separate from the team this time around because I don't like the puddle kind of just randomly dropping onto Coco for fun. When Coco gets splashed, or if Coco gets splashed and, you know, they don't really have, or if they're really tanky, it might be fine for Coco to be alongside her allies. But it doesn't really make that much sense to kind of just have additional splash damage for fun. But it looks like right now for my King Croaker challenge, actually, I'm getting decent damage. I mean, I'm going over 3 million, which is, I think this is literally this is a record from what I had before. Coco and Mr. Carlisle look like they're just kind of killing it right now, though. I'm legitimately surprised. Now, of course, I've gotten stronger since the last time I've done King Croaker, and I've only got about 210 seconds, but I got to 3.7 million specifically with this boss. I could take a look at where I got placed. Okay, 28, top 28 is not that bad. My server's a little bit lower, of course, but in terms of value and clearing, I mean, okay, not too shabby. Now, of course, you do want to get to the second boss, and if you have more imprints, or if you have more investment in the characters, especially characters like Nero and such, or you're on Tundra, maybe they'll survive for a little bit longer, which would obviously help because, I mean, let's be honest here. Right now, when you're fighting characters or fighting bosses or fights that kind of escalate into infinity, the thing that kind of pushes you above are your imprints. Now, whether or however you decide to get that, if that's pulling on the unspecific rate up banner, or if that's just through, again, luck of the draw, or getting it through Arena, or any of the purple sigil capsules that you can buy through Dream Realm shops and stuff like that. That's completely up to you. However you want to do that, that's fine. But I do also want to show off what I would imagine would be ideally the composition that you run so that you don't get one shot. And that's going to be, again, a composition that has Thorin and Smokey. This time in a little bit of a different layout, just because I don't want to take too much damage. Now, in terms of what exactly these characters are going to be giving, Thorin, great tank. Even if he gets one shot, he comes back and he will have enough time to get healed up by Smokey so that he can continue sustaining and, you know, obviously just providing a front line for your carries. Smokey is just the GOAT. He does so much healing. He has so much utility. The consistency of his heal is pretty much incomparable to anyone else. And as opposed to my last video where I kind of compared, or I kind of clumped all the characters together here, I was informed that separating the characters is a bit more useful or a bit more helpful, and we're going to put that to the test. Let's see how much damage we do. Star Shard spell is, of course, really nice just because you're doing additional damage while also slowing down the King Croaker's attack speed. Let's find out. Okay, so that's a little weird. My Smokey is not healing in range for my Thorin or my Kruger. Okay, well now I'm in range of it. I guess technically speaking, even in my last iteration of where I was using Kruger, he wasn't really getting it. Oh, okay, he just got one shot. Okay. Interesting. So clumping up might still be the play here. My Thorin was not getting healed at all, and this does not look very helpful. Now, ultimately, it would be nice, or, oh, you know what it was? Oh, I just realized what it was. I was informed by one of my guildmates that running the composition like this would be helpful, but I just realized that his Thorin has Mythic Plus, or the Supreme variation, where he gives or he shares damage with the backline, which is obviously going to like increase like the survivability of his carry. That makes so much more sense. Okay. Now I understand. That's still not a bad reading. Again, we've got top 24, but we could do better. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move Smokey up because I don't want to get one shot. I'm gonna put Kruger up here. Coco will still be kind of in the back line. I don't want to get one shot, but I think this... That's so funny. I think I unironically just built what I had before, but I don't have the Aureus mitigation, or it's not called Aureus, the damage share from before. Coco is still taking a lot of damage, which is unfortunate. But I guess in terms of raw value, having some healing is better than having no healing whatsoever. Again, you can see the idea behind separating Coco, Kruger, and everyone from each other is that you don't want them to kind of bait the water puddle on top of each other, which does work fairly well, especially in the other composition that we're talking about. But it's kind of a question of do they have enough sustain through life stealing to kind of, oh wait, what happened to my Thorn? My Thorn is just gone again. What is going on with Thorn? Hey man, what? Hey, you're supposed to be the GOAT, man. How's my Thorn gone? Okay, well, in any case, I think I'm gonna end up clearing the boss anyways, but that was frightening. That is a frightening amount of damage. I don't know what's going on with this guy. But okay, well, separating him should have worked out a lot better. But actually, brief intermission, because I do get some pulls. I actually am, yes, there we go. We're gonna do a 10 pull. We're gonna do it live. Hopefully we get an imprint or something, and that would make things so great. That would be so good. Oh my god. A Kruger imprint, something. 3 Kruger imprints. Oh, okay, skip. Okay, actually, Marley is apparently very, very good for one of the other fights for Dream Realm, and I've been kind of cooking up and seeing how well that would work for her specific fight, but not for today. We did get a couple imprints though, which is kind of cool, kind of sick. I'm going to upgrade my rogue here, actually, my rogue weapon. Wow, we're kind of getting a power up on the fly, so you guys can kind of see exactly what happens when I have to kind of adapt, overcome, etc. But yes, okay, so we're looking to ideally break, oh my goodness, 5 million damage on the second variation of this boss. Okay, so ideally Coco is far away. Kruger and, okay, actually everyone should be fine here. Okay, so long as Coco is far away, I think that's kind of the idea behind this. You don't want to bait too many of the puddles. If you, oh my goodness, do you see that? My Coco is so low health. Oh, I'm not, like, I really do need imprints for this character, and it's no joke, just because, again, like, look at that. My Smokey just got one shot. Oh my goodness gracious. It's so insane. Like, of course, like, I would want the front line to take aggro here. We're gonna have to just run through a couple of the variations of this composition, just because, again, I don't, whether it's RNG for targeting, maybe I have to use my awakening spell. All these different things are so detrimental to my clear time and my clear speed. Honestly, I think the biggest issue for me right now is not even the fact that, you know, I need more damage or anything like that. I think it might actually just be healing, because my Kruger, my Smokey, and my Coco are just taking infinite amounts of damage. I'm gonna try using Awakening Spell, because the last time I did this, I didn't take this much damage, but of course, I mean, like, look at that, right? Like, what is that? It's the boss just now suddenly. Is he just him? He's. What happened to my Smokey? My Smoke. Do I really need to get another imprint for Smokey? Because that's ridiculous. Like, he's getting one shot on the first hit. Maybe the tuning and timing of my Coco's ultimate is what the issue is. Man, we even increased our clear time this time around. Okay, let me see about the positioning. We'll do it live. Okay. Okay. We'll use Star Shard again. Let me see if there is any way. I think it's just RNG. That's the other unfortunate truth about this fight. It's that you really don't have a choice. Oh my god. Literally, it's like on this. Look, Kruger just got swiped for fun. Like, I just lost my physical. The game is. Oh man, these fights sometimes are really RNG. So again, I implore you, don't feel bad if you get like kind of low. I mean, like, what is this? It's just such bad timing. Like, this time Smokey survived. I don't know if it's Croaker specifically critting randomly or what exactly is happening to him. I'm gonna take a look at his base stats to see what exactly is going on with my clears, because I like 1.9 million sounds absolutely ridiculous, because I think I'm at the same power level, if not higher, than some of these other folk on the ladder. Let me take a look at this character. Do we get to see his stats? Let me see. Does it show off his stats? It doesn't. I have a feeling he has some sort of like built-in like RNG crit system, and you need crit resistance, because it looks like whether or not I survive is completely, you know, has nothing to do with whether or not whether or not I position correctly or differently. It looks specifically as though, or it looks specifically like Kruger, and whether or not Kruger and Thorn and characters like this survive is purely determined on whether or not he gets crit. Because look, if you saw right there, right, Kruger ended up getting hit there, but he didn't get one shot, which leads me to believe it's a crit. It has to be a crit, but he doesn't always crit, so it's just RNG. I have to just pray he doesn't get crit. Look at that. That's another random crit. So like he does some hits that do 66,000. That hit didn't crit either. I mean, we have a little bit more survivability here, but man, that is so frustrating. Okay, well, in any case, I mean, this was supposed to be a free-to-play guide, but as you can see, even as I tried to complete this content myself, guys, you can see where I'm struggling. Crit is a bit of an RNG fest, or, you know, how much damage he does on each hit is kind of an RNG fest. I just kind of wanted to give a free-to-play guide specifically for this boss if you are struggling. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks again for watching, guys. I apologize I couldn't get as clean of a clear, but as you can see, it kind of shows off just how finicky the fight is and how annoying some of the fights are. But yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. If you did, make sure to like, comment, turn the notification bell, subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you so much again. I'll see you all next time. Good night.